Heyo, Cardinal fans! Welcome to the newest Cardinal Conversation podcast, bringing you all the ins and outs of Otterbein athletics. Now, here is your host for today, Sports Information Director Adam Prescott.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for once again tuning into our Cardinal Conversation podcast here for episode 3 of the fall season. I'll say good morning, good afternoon, or maybe good night, depending on when you're tuning in to listen to this. For us, it is a rainy Thursday morning here in the Memorial Stadium press box. I am your host, SID Adam Prescott, joined today by 2 members of our football program, currently kicking their feet up on their bye week. First, special teams coordinator and offensive line coach Andy Freeze, filling in for head coach Tim Daup today. We'll get to more of that in a minute. Andy in his 3rd full-time season with the club, 5th overall after spending 2 years as a GA. Andy, thanks so much for joining us today.
No problem. Thanks for having me on, Adam.
Now, no offense to you, but some people might be wondering why we got the special teams coordinator, assistant coach on here. Where's the head coach? Coach Daup actually out today having a root canal done this morning on his teeth. So I thank you for keeping your teeth clean. Apparently no dental hygiene issues with you.
Yeah, no issues. And also want to point out real quick, Adam, you related to me being the Joe Smith of the coaching staff, Cleveland Indians pitcher. So I'm going to try my best to be an Andrew Miller today.
Okay.
So I'm going to try my best to get out there and give him my best.
Andy and I were talking Tribe baseball yesterday, and with Coach Daup being out, I said we were going to call Andy in from the bullpen. And for whatever reason, I referenced Joe Smith. He could be the middle reliever, and Andy didn't take too kindly to that. So, you'll be the 6'7" lefty today. I dig it.
I'll take it.
Andy, of course, a 2009 graduate of Otterbein, All-American offensive lineman. He might blush when I say this, but a lot of people widely regard him as the best offensive lineman ever to come through the program here. Allowed just 1 sack in his 4-year career. Back in 2008, during our playoff run, Andy was interviewed by the Columbus Dispatch, and when asked who he would be for one day, he said he'd like to be then offensive coordinator, now head coach Tim Daup for a day. So my question to you is, what's it feel like now that you finally got your chance to be Coach Daup?
You know, that was a long time ago. So that was 9 years ago. So I've finally gotten back to that spot where I could be him. So it's really, truly an honor to be here for Coach Daup.
I love it. Well, hopefully he's resting up here, and we'll have Coach Daup on it near the end of the season when his mouth is feeling a little bit better and he can talk. Sitting to Andy's left is junior running back Christian Johnson from nearby Sunbury, Ohio, graduate of Big Walnut High School. Christian's a 2-year starter for us, coming off a huge 117-yard 2-touchdown game at Crosstown rival Capital. Christian, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. I'm very honored to be here. It's
awesome.
exciting.
4 touchdowns on the year, averaging 4.5 yards a carry. Listed at 5'6", 188, so some people might look at you on the roster and not really be too geeked out about your specifics. Describe your running style for us, though.
Yeah, on paper, you look at 5'6", around 190, you're thinking, this guy.
You're going to bump yourself up 2 pounds.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, yeah, no doubt, man. They got to do that. I think that my running style would I'm kind of like a hybrid guy. I think if you look at me on paper, you're going to think that I'm just a small guy who gets banged around a lot. But, I think that in short yardage situations, I can, get my head in there. I think I'm kind of sneaky. Since I'm smaller, I get to hide behind our big offensive line, and I think that if I can get out into space, I like seeing green grass. So whenever I do that, I like to get out and just get going. But I think that being 5'6", 190, it's kind of playing into my advantage. Yeah. Especially for game planning. Guys see me on paper if they're not watching a lot of film, and I think that kind of puts me at an advantage.
I was say you little guys are the ones we got to be worried about, right?
Exactly, man. I like being underestimated.
Yeah. Of course, you guys are coming off a huge 49-42 rivalry victory over Crosstown Capital. Andy, this year's game was probably just about as wacky as last year's, or maybe a lot of other ones in this series. Huge defensive stop to end the game and what turned into kind of a wild shootout. Talk about what it's like to be, obviously, you having participated as a player. Now you're part of it as a coach. What's it like to be a part of this series?
Yeah, it's really a lot of fun because any rivalry series, you're going to always have a little bit extra going into the game. I can remember, I think I've faced Capital a total of about 9 or 10 times now, coaching, playing, everything, and you remember specific things from each game. Coach Daup gets excited a lot when we get into those games, and it's just a lot of fun to be a part of because our guys get up, and it doesn't really matter, if they're a better team on paper, if we're a better team on paper, it's always going to be a dogfight. It doesn't matter what it is. Going back and looking all those years that I've been a part of it is truly something special, and obviously it always is a lot better when you come out on top because we've had heartbreaks. I've been a part of a couple of them here at Otterbein, and you remember those, but the wins are always something you're going to cherish a lot more. So it's a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, we mentioned Coach Daup being out with the root canal. He was almost out with maybe other health issues. He said after Fred's game-clinching interception, he next thing he knew, he looked up. He was in the middle of the field and the stadium was spinning.
Yeah, I think we had a penalty on that. We had a penalty on the return, and then we also had a celebration penalty. But I don't think Coach Daup was too concerned with that one at the end of the game.
Rack up 60, 70 yards in penalties at that point. Christian, I know your performance and just kind of redemption in this game for you personally was a big deal going in. Last year, of course, we suffer a tough 42-41 loss where we run you at the end of the game to center the ball for a potential game-winning field goal, and you unfortunately coughed the ball up and fumbled. I know that's been on your mind for 365 days. Just talk about what it was like, just kind of going in there and getting over 100 yards, scoring a couple touchdowns, and feeling like you redeemed yourself.
Oh, yeah, it felt really good to kind of get my redemption, as you said. That game, that was probably the worst I felt in my sports career. I've been playing football for a long time. I played a couple other sports, and when that happened, it was kind of like, man, I just let down the whole town of Westerville. I let down the coaching staff, myself, my teammates, all that stuff. So, it was kind of in the back of my mind. I didn't talk about it much or anything, but just that whole week of practice, I just had in my mind I owed these guys. I know a couple guys that are over there at Cap, and I went to high school with one of them, so I knew that, there's going to be people there watching that knew me and stuff. Mm-hmm. And, it just felt good to be able to get out and get into a good groove. The holes were huge.
Yeah, I was going to ask, that was my next question, is to talk about your relationship with the O-line and kind of what was the goal going in and what was working so well.
Yeah, so we didn't really have to do anything special. It just kind of, our line just, they were getting off the ball. Everything was sound. Got to give a lot of props to my man, Case Troyer, our left tackle. I hang out with him a lot. I'm pretty much like a unofficial tenant over at his house. I stay the night there all the time and stuff. And we run a lot of inside zone stuff, and it seemed like every time I'd get a big hole, I was cutting right off of him and Winston Spiker, our left guard's butt. So, it felt good to get out and just be able to put myself in a position to make plays. And, I've been trying to get back to that since I got here, and it just felt good. I kind of feel like I'm hitting my stride, and I'm reaching that confidence level that I need to be at.
Absolutely. Well, you guys are 4-1 now, heading into the bye week. A little bit of a new setup for us this season. Typically, we have a bye week in the second week of the year. Kind of switched around this year. We have a bye week right in the middle of the season. Any bye week? First of all, how do you feel about that as players? Getting a bye week a little later on, and what are your bye week plans?
From a player's standpoint, I would definitely say that this is the best case scenario. It's my third season here, so the first 2 years I kind of, I'd never had a bye week in high school. Those aren't a thing. So when we came here, I was kind of surprised that we had one at all. So my freshman year, you play one game, and then you get a bye. It's kind of didn't really get the ball rolling. Especially, my freshman year, we suffered a tough loss the first game. So it was kind of different to have to spend 2 weeks in a loss, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, this year, play a couple games and then be able to get a bye week, especially when the rest of the league, they took theirs week 2. So I think that it was a great strategy by Coach Daup and the rest of the coaching staff to try to get that bye week later because, especially as a running back, I get hit every play. I'm either blocking somebody, trying to catch a ball, or I'm running, doing whatever. But so just to get this week off, or not really a week off, I should say, get this weekend off to, relax and just give my body a little bit of a break is it's definitely thrilling.
Yeah. Andy, what's the process like for you guys as coaches? Now, I know you took a couple days off initially, but now you're back at it. Bye week, a nice time to regroup, but, man, do you have a couple strong opponents looming after the break here?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as you look at it as a coaching staff, for us, first of all, we got Sunday and Monday off, which as a coaching staff and even our players, I know when Coach Daup told them after the game on Saturday that was the plan, that was just phenomenal for us because even as coaches, we want to recharge. We're an early morning staff, so we get in early, and it just allows us to kind of recharge the batteries and get focused up. And our goal, obviously, we wanted to try to get to the bye this year, 5-0. We came up a game shy, but Coach Daup talks about being 1-0 every week, and that's still the goal going forward. So we feel good about where we're at. 4-1's a pretty good record, but like you said too, we got some opponents coming up that are going to present some unique challenges and. Having 2 weeks to prepare for a Heidelberg team that's currently 4-0, they're ranked in the top 25 and playing Mount Union this weekend. It's going to be good for us to be able to kind of get a week on those guys, and just having it in the middle of the week, can't speak about it as far as guys being rested and not being sluggish. Weeks 3 through 10 necessarily, or whatever
Exactly.
they work out to be. So it's good for our coaches. It's good for our players. Everybody gets a little bit of time to relax, get root canals or anything like that done during the week.
You're going you may go to the Indians game tomorrow night?
Maybe make it up to Cleveland, check out the Tribe game tomorrow night. And it's just nice to be able to spend some extra time with family in October rather than having to be like one game. All right, what are we going to do for 2 weeks? We got to, so it's been different, but it's been really good for everybody involved, I think, too.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hanging up here in the Memorial Stadium press box with special teams coordinator, offensive line coach Andy Freeze, alongside junior running back Christian Johnson. Just a reminder, make sure you stay tuned for the length of our broadcast here. In the second segment, we are going to discuss our favorite names in the sports world and then our favorite names in the Otterbein sports world. Andy and Christian and myself compiled some lists last couple of days. We don't know who's on each other's list, so going to talk about some of our favorite sports names, both locally here on campus and out in the real world of sports. Christian, I want to talk about the competitiveness on this team, and not even so on the field or in real life, but I want to talk about on Xbox. I hear you guys are pretty competitive when it comes to playing Madden. Apparently, your buddy, fellow running back Isaiah Richmond, is some incredible Madden player and has been beating everyone. First of all, I want you to talk about the rule of 21. When you get 21, what that means.
All right, so the rule of 21, it's kind of changed within the last couple of days, but so as it started out was, so if you get 21 means if someone has scored 21 or more points out ahead of you. And what it used to be was if you got 21, you had to call your mom. Like no matter what time of the day or night it was, you had to call your mom and tell her that you got 21 and by who 21 you.
Yeah.
But now I guess they've made up this new rule to where if you get 21, you have to tweet whatever the winner tells you to. And it's not we're not going to be tweeting anything like vulgar or anything stupid like that. It's like so yesterday Isaiah, the Madden god, he got beat by linebacker Jake Harper, and I was on my Twitter feed and I was scrolling and I see a WWE belt on a photo. And Isaiah tweeted that he had to give up his Madden God status to Jake Harper.
Jake Harper taking down the king. Yeah, I know Isaiah is quick to call out a lot of people in the locker room or on social media when he beats them in Madden. Nice to see him finally have to take an L, maybe be humbled up. What's it like being friends with him? I know he's pretty goofy guy. The camaraderie between you guys is obviously pretty exceptional.
Oh, yeah, he's my man. I mean, last year coming into camp, I had no idea that he was coming here. He transferred from Eastern Kentucky in way of Tiffin too. But when I first met him, I just knew that he was a guy that I was gonna like to be around. Really charismatic. He's really personable. Like he could, that guy could go in and talk to any group of people and wouldn't be fazed at all.
Yeah.
He's always cracking jokes, but he's also a pretty intense guy. Like on Saturdays after offensive drives when either he's out there or I'm out there, we come off the field and we're talking and trying to make adjustments, mentally and stuff like that, and talk about what's going on up front, what stuff they're bringing us. He's really knowledgeable and he has a good sense of leadership. He's not afraid to tell me if I'm doing something wrong or to tell me that I need to tweak something or do something else or anything really. But other than that though, he every Thursday, him and Dakota Smith, my boy Booby, they come over to my house for dinner. My dad will cook dinner for us, and my parents just love both of those guys to death. My parents really love Isaiah. He's been coming over he started coming over last season, and my dad, every time I get home, my dad's always talking about him and stuff. So he's definitely a guy that I'm really, really happy that I met, and I'm excited to be friends with him in the future.
Yeah, sure. Andy, when you hear Christian talk about building friendships with certain guys on a team, at least for me, as a former college athlete, I'm sure for you too, does it naturally kind of take you back to relationships you had with your teammates and kind of morph your brain back to 2005 to 2008 and some of the same things you went through with your Otterbein teammates here?
Yeah, probably too much, to be honest, because especially as he said there at the end, excited to be friends for life. That's what this is about, in my opinion. Obviously, it's great when we can win games and just having that camaraderie, though, of people. I'll give shout-outs to my guys. Jamie Albert's one guy. He was the best man at my wedding. I was the left tackle. He was the right tackle. B.J. Waniger, Eli Liker. Those are guys that I'll never forget. And goes to Evan Case, Garrison Trainer, those guys too. It just guys you meet in college are the guys that if you stick it out and you're there with them for 4 years in the trenches battling, then those are the guys that are going to mean a lot to you. So it's definitely, like you said, it takes you back to some times that were a lot of fun. That's for sure. I'll just leave it at that.
That's awesome. Yeah. Before you met Christian, before you mentioned that Jake Harper took down the Madden god Isaiah, I was going to ask if Fred Hargrove plays Madden, because right now it seems to be Fred Hargrove's world, and we're all just living in it. For those who aren't aware, Fred Hargrove, our sophomore safety, coming off a career-high 16 tackles, 2 completely game-changing interceptions at Capital. He was named to the National Team of the Week as one of 2 safeties. What's it like? I know you said Fred didn't even know what that meant when he first got the
Fred's a character, man. He's probably one of the most entertaining guys I think I've ever met in my life. He plays Madden, but he talks a lot. Him and Isaiah, every time I see them playing, they're going back and forth. Even in the locker room after practice, there's probably 8 or 9 of us, maybe 10 of us that are really slow. I'm probably one of the last people out of the locker room every day, but we're always just hanging out in there. They're always showing me new music and stuff like that, and Fred freestyle raps and all that stuff. But the other day on Sunday, or no, it was
would have been Monday.
Yeah. When we came in for lifting, Coach Dalp announced to the team that Fred had been named to the D3.com National Team of the Week. And so we get down to lifting, and I walked up to him and I was like, "Hey man, congrats on getting named to the D3 national team." And he was like, "Man, I didn't even know what that was, man." And I was like, "You didn't know?" He's like, "Yeah, I had no idea until everybody started telling me." So he's just a good guy to be around, funny guy. As you guys can tell, he's an incredible athlete. I don't think I've ever seen somebody that with his build that can really just bring the wood. That guy can hit. And flying around making plays. It's
first year on defense, right?
Yeah.
First year ever playing defense.
He came in as a quarterback. A lefty quarterback. I met him in the spring of my freshman year, and kind of hit it off right away. I really like talking to him, and that guy he's something else for sure.
Team full of characters. Yeah, Fred Hargrove certainly out in the forefront. That's our first half of the show with Andy Freeze and Christian Johnson. We're going to take a quick break for some of our corporate sponsors in the Cardinal Minute update. We'll be right back after this break.
This segment of the Cardinal Conversation podcast is brought to you by BMI Federal Credit Union, located on South Cleveland Avenue in Westerville, and Education First Credit Union on West Strock Road, also located just minutes away from Otterbein's campus. Both are proud sponsors of Otterbein Athletics.
Hey Cardinal fans, I'm women's track and field junior Sarah Bedell. Thanks for tuning in to this week's Cardinal Conversation podcast. Our second half segment is coming right up.
From the Sports Information Desk, this is your Cardinal Sports Update. Rivalry week with Capital last weekend ended in favor of the Cards as Otterbein came out on top with a 3-1 record against the Crusaders, beginning with volleyball's 3-0 sweep last Friday night. Football followed Saturday with a wild 49-42 win in Bexley over the Crusaders, while men's soccer picked up a 1-0 shutout that same night. Women's soccer dropped its first match of the season after starting undefeated through its first 8 games, falling 2-1 in overtime to the Crusaders. Cross country impressed once again with strong showings for both teams at last Friday's All-Ohio Championships. The women's squad, which recently checked in 23rd nationally, capturing its 3rd straight D3 All-Ohio title, led by a 1-2 finish from juniors Claire Lamb and Heather Sandvik. Lamb also won her 3rd consecutive individual championship in the D3 field. Cardinal men's team also posted a stellar outing in 3rd place at the meet, led by Wyatt Gardner and Jacob Thompson, who each placed inside the top 15 runners in the D3 field. Women's golf posted its best outing of the fall last weekend with a 2nd place finish at the OAC Fall Preview, as the top 4 teams finished within 3 strokes of one another in a highly competitive field. Men's tennis began this new week of competition with a 9-0 shutout at Shawnee State in its regular season opener, while men's soccer improved 2-0 in OAC play with a 2-0 home shutout of Ohio Northern Tuesday night. Volleyball notched a noteworthy 3-2 victory Wednesday night at number 17 nationally ranked Ohio Northern, while number 22 women's soccer fell 2-0 at the nationally ranked Polar Bears. On tap this weekend, football will enjoy its bye week away from competition, while volleyball travels to the Elmhurst tournament, where it will face 3 teams in 2 days, including a matchup with number 16 Chicago Friday evening. Men's soccer looks for its 8th straight win when it hosts Muskingum Saturday at 1 p.m., while the women's team mirroring the start time at the Muskies. Men's tennis wraps up its fall schedule Saturday with a trip to Mount Vernon Nazarene, while the women's golf team rounds out the weekend for the Cards at the Wittenberg Invite Saturday and Sunday. That's your Cardinal Sports Update. For all the latest news and notes, follow us on OtterbeinCardinals.com and on social media at Otterbein Sports.
And welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us here into part 2 of our Cardinal Conversation segment. I'm Adam Prescott, joined here in the Memorial Stadium press box by Special Teams Coordinator, Offensive Line Coach Andy Freeze, and Junior Running Back Christian Johnson. Going to get a little more lighthearted segment of our show here today. Got to talking this week about some of the better names in sports. Got off on a little tangent on some of the cool names and some of the unique names that you see in the sports world. I know you two are pretty excited for this segment here. Were you guys up late last night?
Yeah, figuring it out.
So what we do here, the format, so Andy and myself and Christian kind of made our top 10 lists of our top 10 favorite sports names of all time, and then we also secretly made our top 10 list of sports names at Otterbein, some of the cool names that we have here around campus. So we're going to rattle those off now. We're going to start with our overall names. I guess maybe I'll just lead us off here, and we'll go through. I'm going to count down 10 to 1. So I threw number 10 was Lucky Whitehead. Kick returner, or former kick returner for the Dallas Cowboys. Yep. And I guess we all probably had a different approach to, or different style to picking these. I just tried to pick names that I thought were cool, or maybe not just a cool first name or a cool last name, but both names. So I went 10 Lucky Whitehead, 9 Barkevius Mingo, NFL linebacker, number 8 Von Wafer, former McDonald's All-American, turned NBA player. I guess we'll say temporarily. I'm not sure where he's at anymore. 7, Atari Bigby, NFL player. 6, small forward in the NBA, Luke Richard Mbah-a-Moute. That's always a good one. I'm still not sure how that fits on the back of his jersey. Number 5, Bakari Rambo, NFL DB. I don't know why. I actually almost put that one higher. Number 4, Peekaboo Street.
Yep.
Former Olympian, downhill, I think alpine skier. 3, Ha Clinton Dix, one of my all-time favorites. Would have put him higher if not for number 2, God Shamgod. And I think many could argue that I should have the big guy in the top spot. I should have God in the top spot.
Probably. Yeah,
but,
I can see where you're going there.
But was outdone by Coco Crisp, my favorite athlete name of all time. Coco Crisp. Just doesn't even seem real that named after a cereal. Had a heck of an MLB career. Spent time with my favorite Cleveland Indians last year. Lucky Whitehead, Barkevius Mingo, Von Wafer, Atari Bigby, Luke Richard Mbah-a-Moute, Bakari Rambo, Peekaboo Street, Ha Clinton Dix, God Shamgod, and Coco Crisp are my top 10 in reverse order. A couple honorable mentions, then we'll throw it over to Andy here. Honorable mentions that almost made my list: DeBrickashaw Ferguson, Guy Wimper, who I was kind of 50-50 on him because it's a great name, but he's an NFL offensive lineman named Wimper, and I don't know. Ruben Boomshay, former NBA player, and World Be Free. So those were my couple honorable mention for my overall sports names list. So I feel pretty good with it. We'll see what you guys came up with. I'm not sure which one you want to start and go next, but we'll let Andy go.
Yeah, I'll see what
thoughts
I can do.
Thoughts on any concerns with my list? Any?
Man, the Bakari Rambo, man, I like that name a lot. He definitely cracked my top 10.
Yeah, but I had Peekaboo initially on my list, but she did not make it, so that would be one of my honorable mentions. But we'll see what you go with here. Obviously, football heavy here. As a football coach, we're going to see some football coaches' names as well as some football guys. Leading off number 10, you mentioned him, honorable mention, DeBrickashaw Ferguson.
Unbelievable, right?
How can you not just love that name as an offensive line coach? And great career with the Jets. You know, probably not Hall of Fame worthy, but definitely Jets Hall of Fame worthy.
Definitely in the Hall of Fame of names.
Yes,
we'll say that.
Yes, no question. Number 9, Dick Butkus. Talk football, you talk linebacker, you can't forget about Dick Butkus. Okay, couple obscure ones here. I went on my own, found some names here. Adam might know him, he's a college basketball guy, but who could forget Majestic Map from the 2002
wow.
Virginia basketball team.
I can't believe I forgot about that one.
Here's his brother's name. You ready for it? Scientific Map.
No
yes,
way.
Yes, played college basketball as well.
I saw that.
I looked
So
that up too.
number 8, we slide in Majestic Map and Scientific Map right
8A
there.
and 8B.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Number 7, also staying in the college basketball world. Who can forget the first team All Sun Belt player for Middle Tennessee State, Tommy Gunn?
Oh, yeah.
Tommy
man.
Gunn. Sorry. Spoiler alert there for Christian. Sorry.
Taking one of Christian's here.
Number 6, I had World Be Free. I still don't know what it means. I don't know if that's the guy's real name, but
I was looking it up. I think he legally changed it. His name was Leonard Be Free or something,
Okay.
but his buddies called him World on the playground growing up and pick up basketball, and he legally changed it at age 28.
okay, I got you. That makes sense. So, getting into some college football names, Bronco Mendenhall comes in at number 5.
Okay.
Just a strong name. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is. You don't
Coaching
see
in Virginia now,
Yep,
right?
yep. Virginia head coach. Next at number 4, Kalani Sitake, the BYU head football coach. So,
Oh, yeah.
just an interesting name. Quick story about him too. I've seen him at a Waffle House at 2 a.m. and it was 50 degrees outside. My man was wearing a Hawaiian BYU shirt, shorts, and sandals. So
Yes.
just a big guy. A lot of respect for him.
It's the culture.
Yep. Number 3, another Hawaiian checks in. Ken Niamataloto, the head coach at Navy. Great head coach. Love what he does at Navy, and just a great name too.
Strong ground game there.
Yes, no question about it.
Not so much through the air, but
No, they like to run it.
3 words: time of possession there for
Yes.
Niumatalolo.
Number 2 comes in a minor league baseball player that never made the majors. Slightly inappropriate, but it's the guy's name, Steve Schartz. I found that one. So Steve Schartz. So
All right.
his name is a sentence if you can put that together.
Wow.
Okay. And then number 1 for me, also checking in on Adams, number 1, Cocovelli, Cocoa Crisp.
Yep.
So
I'm glad you mentioned
Yeah.
the legal government name.
yeah, so 2002, who could forget, as a Cleveland Indians fan, he broke into the league, and the rest is history. So
Yeah.
that was my list.
What do you think, Christian? What do you got here?
Alrighty, well, you guys touched on a couple of mine, but I think I got some that are going to surprise the sports world right here. My number 10 is God's Gift, Achiuwa.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
College
All right.
basketball.
Yep.
Yep. St. John's, I believe he played
yep,
in St. John's,
yep.
right? Yeah.
And number 9, a guy, Edgar Allan Poe, played football for Army.
Okay.
Poet?
Yeah, the Raven.
I was about to correct you.
Or the
saying
Crow,
we're not-
or whatever
we're not
it is,
ranking
yeah.
poets here.
And my number 8 is actually a guy that I played with in high school. His name was Tommy Jeffcoat.
Okay.
And this guy was just a character. Like, he was probably one of the funniest people I've ever
Just
met.
had to know him.
So yeah,
Tommy-
you really had to know this guy.
Tommy Jeffcoat getting an old school shout out from your boy Christian Johnson here on the Cardinal Conversation.
No doubt, wherever you're at, man. What's up? My number 7, Prescott already touched on that. Bakari Rambo. With a name like Rambo, if I'm seeing that on paper,
Yeah.
I'm a little scared.
Might
for
want
him
to
now.
throw to the opposite. He's a DB. Might want to throw him
Oh
the
yeah,
opposite
no
side of the
doubt.
field
Yeah.
there.
And then my next one, going off Rambo being kind of a dangerous guy. This guy's name was Danger Fourpence.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not even sure where this guy
That
comes from.
one's-
But
Don't even know what he played.
honestly, no. I had notes on here of what sport they played, and I don't even have anything for this guy. But Danger, that's a
All right, there
crazy
you go. If
name.
you're sitting at home listening here, Google Danger what?
Fourpence.
Danger Fourpence.
Yeah.
We'll look that one up after we get off the air here.
And my number 5 is Sonny Six Killer. He was a college football safety.
I think he's just making up names, Andy.
I'm with them.
I just went on and I looked up the craziest names. I wanted to come in here with some crazy
think he's
material.
making
Brain is strong. Your brain is strong.
An
All
old
right.
baseball player, Blue Moon Odom.
Mhm.
Yep, know that one.
I had that one in at number 3 for any of you CCR fans. Credence Clearwater Quoto. He's a soccer player.
Yep.
Okay.
And then my number 2, college football player, receiver, Jazz Peavy.
Okay.
Jazz, that's just too smooth of a name to forget.
Yeah.
And then I have kind of like a 1A and 1B. You kind of took my number 1 there, Coach Freeze, with the Tommy
Yeah,
gun.
sorry about that.
But so my other number 1 was a guy that I played against in high school. He played at Delaware Hayes. His name was Stone Banks.
Stone Banks.
Stone Banks. He was a
pretty tough.
linebacker, and
That's
he
tough.
was a good athlete, man. He was a scary guy. So, what Stone, whatever you're doing, man, I hope things are going well. Thanks for giving me a little scare on your name.
That's tough. Good list. I feel like we represented different areas, different thoughts. I'm glad we didn't talk about this beforehand. That was good. List of some other guys that didn't make the list: Milton Bradley, Clubber Lang, which I guess is fictional. I don't know if that counts. Let's see. Captain Mutterlin, Timbiaka Batuka, Pops Mensa Bonsu, Vander Blue, OCU Mignora, Ladainian Tomlinson. No one said Algie Crumpler.
Yeah.
Algie Crumpler could have made the list for Plaxico Burris, We all know his history: Bronco Nagurski, Kalena Azubuike, Speedy Claxton, Danilo Gallinari, Slava Medvedenko, Manu Ginobili, Serge Ibaka, Kosta Koufis, who I actually played with in high school. Didn't want to be partial or biased, so I didn't throw him on my list. Dirk Nowitzki, Zazas Pachulia, Brian Scalabrine, one of the greatest NBA players of all time. The White Mamba. Thabo Cephalosha, Wally Zerbiak, Bonzi Wells, Anderson Varejao. How about Bud Weiser?
Yep.
1916 pitcher for the Phillies.
Who could forget? Catfish
Hunter, Moonlight Graham, Boof Bonser. I almost threw Booger McFarlane on the list. And then the brothers, Akbar Baja Biamila and Kabir Baja Biamila. Now you see the one on American Ninja Warrior, color guy. Peerless Price, Webster Slaughter, Richie Incognito, Quentin Jammer, Zoltan Mesko, former Michigan punter and New England Patriots punter. And then who can forget Ben Gay, former NFL player. So those are some, I guess we'll call them additional honorable mentions. Let's see, what is my trusty assistant Jeremy slipping me here? Okay, yeah, Danger Fourpence, a Zimbabwean soccer player / footballer. Okay,
there you go.
I know. I keep
now
him,
we know.
Now we know. I know. I keep him around for something. My assistant Jeremy Morgan over here on the controls, keeping us honest, making sure our volume levels sound good and we're on the air. So if my voice sounds too high pitched or annoying, you can blame him later on.
I'm surprised that nobody picked Shooter McGavin or Happy Gilmore.
Shooter McGavin, another fictional name.
Name,
Shooter McGavin and Clubber Lang. I wasn't sure how to treat them with in regards to this. All right, now we're going to move on to our favorite names at Otterbein. We are obviously part of the sports world here in Westerville, and we also boast some of our cool, some cool names across different sports. I'm going to start with number 10, Mariella Briones, women's tennis player. 9 and 8 are two incoming men's lacrosse players. Number 9, Keely Kovac. You know, I'm big on the alliteration. And number 8, Nani Bailey. You'll see more of him this spring. Real name Fanon Bailey, goes by Nani. So looking forward to seeing those guys on the turf this spring. Keep with the alliteration. Number 7, Brett Bay. Named after Brett Favre. She's one of our outside hitters on the volleyball team. Transferred from Columbus State. Gotta love Brett Bay. Number 6, Lorenza Savini, newcomer distance runner for the cross-country and track and field program. Also, a heck of a modern-day decathlete. You'll be learning more about her this year as we profile her. Number 5, incoming baseball player, Killian Brewer. Something about that name just sticks out to me. We'll see what he does for the Bird Gang. Number 4, Tiger Pham, all-conference midfielder for our men's soccer team. Pham spelled Pham. Heck of a character. Gotta love having a conversation with Tiger.
Has a great mustache too.
Unbelievable mustache.
Very underrated.
Yeah. Go online, check out Tiger Pham on our men's soccer roster, and let us know what you think of that headshot. Number 3, another newbie to the cross country program, Jet Facemeyer, which I think is just incredible that you're a runner and your first name's Jet. I think that's pretty fitting. Number 2, volleyball player Dasha Bruyako. Has a family from Russia, extremely talented musician, and has also contributed nicely in her inaugural year with the volleyball team. So Dasha Bruyako gets the silver medal at number 2. Sitting just behind our gold medalist, my boy, Pao Piang from the men's soccer team. Extremely skilled midfielder as well. Had a goal the other night to help us take down Ohio Northern. Pao is all of 5'4", rocks number 9 out on the field. He is definitely worth the price of admission to come in and watch him run around. So Pao Piang tops my list of favorite Otterbein names. A couple honorable mentions. Savannah Sarkeen from the softball team and Savannah Siebenbergen, a new women's lacrosse player. Didn't really want to put one of them in and not the other, so I kind of put them as honorable mention, 1A and 1B. So that's Savannah Sarkeen and Savannah Siebenbergen. Pole vaulter Kanan Cook. Thought that, again with the alliteration. And women's lacrosse player Izzy Namovsky out of Mississauga, Ontario, Canada.
Okay.
So that tops my list of top A. Yeah, A. That tops. Those are my favorite Otterbein names. We'll get to some others that didn't quite make my list here at the end of the show. So I think we're going to let Christian roll with this one. Christian, talk about some of your peers here. No football players on the list yet.
Yeah. I have a couple that I'm going to throw on there. I even added one in.
Okay.
That I wrote in. So my number 10, I'm going to go with Brink Ambler.
Yeah.
I think that that's a peculiar name.
New baseball assistant coach entering his second year with us. Coaches first base.
Right on.
Ambler alert. I call him Ambler alert.
That'll fit. My number 9, I gotta go with Prince Franklin.
Okay.
football guy. He's a good friend of mine, but then with a name like Prince, you got to be a pretty
Correction, it's Prince Franklin the second.
Yeah, the second.
second.
Yeah.
If I don't correct you, he certainly will. So,
yeah, with a name like Prince, you got to be a pretty boy.
Yeah.
And everybody knows. Prince.
By the way, huge fashion huge following on Instagram. He's like a fashion guru.
Oh, no doubt. He's a model, I guess. Number 8, I'm gonna go with my boy Ben Beachy from the baseball team.
Okay.
Number 7, like you said, Killian Brewer. I think that's just that's a pretty powerful name.
Yeah,
right there.
I'm excited to announce that one this year.
And then coming in at number 6, Dominic Quiggle, or is it Dominique?
Dominic Quiggle.
Dominic
Men's
Quiggle.
lacrosse player.
My number 5 is Nani Bailey. Number 5. Oh, so my number 4 is my former busmate, Dimitri Kalaris from the baseball team.
Okay.
Also a great nickname for Dimitri, too. Just
Just
meat.
meat.
Just meat Kalaris.
Meat Kalaris, yeah.
And number 3, Pao Pian.
Yep.
As you said, I'd like to, now that I know that this guy exists, I kind of want to come out and check his stuff out.
Yeah.
Number 2, and I can, kind of 2 and 1 are kind of too close, so I'm gonna go 1 A and B. So my 1B is Tiger Fam.
Okay.
But my number 1 is my boy Booby Smith.
Booby Smith.
Gotta be Booby Smith. I know Booby's a nickname, but
He's on the roster last year as Booby Smith. He goes back to Dakota this year. I guess he was switching positions and just felt like the name change was appropriate at that time.
Yeah.
I dig it. We'll get Booby on there. I'll allow it. All right, Andy, what do you got for
All
us
right.
here? Favorite Otterbein athlete names?
A lot have been taken, but that's okay because
That's-
I got some not on the
that's
list.
the price you pay going last.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. I took some of Christian's last time. So, number 10, alliteration for you, Adam. Haley Hotchkiss.
Yeah.
Women's soccer.
Yeah.
Love it. Great name. Number 9, we talked about Brink Ambler. Just like you said, something about that name. Just you don't see many guys named Brink. Number 8, Jet Facemeyer from cross country team. Number 7, we'll give women's tennis some love. Sophia Navis Davis.
Yeah.
So just something with the hyphen. I like that name. Pretty good there.
Yeah.
Number 6, hey Bay, Brett Bay. Okay. Number 5, getting my guy some love. Jock Thompson.
Ooh.
You don't see too many jocks
yeah.
around.
Jock
Jock Thompson. Number 4, Dasha Brianko.
Briaco? Dasha Briaco.
Briaco, sorry. She's got to be related to Ivan Drago somehow. Number 3, Pao Pian.
Yep.
We've covered him. Number 2, he films for us, and I'm shocked none of you guys have said it. Michael Jordan Anthony Morris. I had no idea that Penny Hardaway was in there, too.
Unbelievable.
So.
I was torn on him because
Yeah.
he goes by MJ Morris, but if you stretch out the full name, this is arguably could be the top one, and we're all
Right. That he was in my top 2.
and we've all just swung and missed on this whole
Definitely
concept
slept
here
on.
because for not listening.
Like I said, just MJ because nobody would know it if you just call him MJ, but
Yeah.
definitely know Michael Jordan Anthony Morris. And then number 1, you guys both mentioned him, Tiger fan. Just phenomenal. I just had a daughter in the spring. Tiger was definitely not on the list for boys, so I don't think I could have pulled that one off. But great name, great list of names all the way around there.
Absolutely. No honorable mention for you, right, Andy?
No honorable mention.
Cool. We're going to roll through some other ones here that we talked about off air. That volleyball players Tate Eppard and Navy Kinkoff. Women's track and field athletes Carmen D'Ippolito and Harmony Coling. Harmony was the NCAA indoor runner-up in the pole vault. Wrestlers Jackson Laxo, Ricky Renton. Women's basketball player Delaney Cutteridge. She was real close to making the list. Men's soccer backup goalie Max Stamper. Keeping with football here, how about Desan Jefferson, Melvin Medina, and my boy Peyton Vanderkoy, who will just eat your face off.
All he does is catch touchdowns.
All he does is catch touchdowns.
Never
Never complains, keeps his mouth shut, and just rolls. Also going to be a sports information student worker with me here come wintertime.
Good selection.
How about baseball guys Dom Guzzi, Stevie Uran, and partially maybe my favorite, Prescott Horn.
Yeah, I was really surprised I didn't make your
freshman.
list.
I was real weirded out in the dugout the other day. People kept yelling Prescott and something about Prescott being on deck, and I thought they wanted me to get up there and take some hacks.
No, they didn't.
Which I would have, by the way. Men's lacrosse player Tommy Kolabosh. Women's lacrosse players Kenna Walquist, Selena LeBaire, who sounds like a pop singer, and also another pop singer here, Christiana Nicholas. Sounds like she would be a Billboard Top 100 sensation.
No doubt.
Those are our top names there. Any last minute thoughts here on where you guys are at now as a program and kind of moving forward, looking ahead to Heidelberg?
I would say that we're excited. We got it's kind of like a tough road ahead. We got a couple ranked teams, a couple guys that that aren't, playing around this year. So
gonna find out a lot about yourself, huh?
Yeah, coming out of this bye week, we have a lot of time to prepare. Heidelberg's going to be a huge test, going up there at night. It's never really easy to play there anyway, but adding in at night is going to be another factor, just another thing that we're going to have to, work through as a team. But I think that we're all excited, like Coach said, we wanted to get to the bye week at 5-0. That didn't happen, we took that tough loss to Ohio Northern, but being 4-1, it's nothing to, hang your head about. We're in a good spot, and I mean, the OAC is a great conference to play in, so every week that you come out, if you can get a win, go 1-0 each week, you're going to put yourself in a pretty good spot, to make it to the end, and that's what we want to do, is reach that postseason play.
Yeah, Andy, for you, anything extra specifically maybe with your offensive line moving forward?
Yeah, no, I think hopefully we can continue what we started at Capital. We had a decent day running football Capital. We need to be able to continue to do that, get some movement, get some push up front. We're going to be really well tested against a very good defensive line that goes 8 deep against Heidelberg. So Coach Stout, if I had to channel him, he would tell you our goal is to go 1-0 each week.
Yep.
We're going to try to get better through the bye week, and our goal after Saturday, or a week from Saturday, I should say, come home 1-0 and to keep that cup in Westerville. So it's an exciting game, and wouldn't want it any other way than to have to go up there and win at night and bring that cup back home. So just keep the ball rolling, 1-0 at the end of next week.
Cool. Absolutely. Thank you guys very much for joining us. I guess we're going to tune off on the Cardinal Conversation podcast now and turn our attention to the Cleveland Indians up there at the corner of Carnegie and Ontario, see if we can get this thing started. My assistant, like I said, Jeremy over here wearing his Yankee shirt. I can't believe I let him come into work today wearing that thing. So we'll see next time we get on the air here where the tribe stands and what our moods are like from postseason baseball. For Christian Johnson and Andy Freeze, I am Adam Prescott, thanking everyone for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
Just a reminder that you can catch all podcast shows on Twitter at Otterbein Sports or Otterbein Athletics YouTube channel. Catch you next time.